Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you found yourself searching for your glasses, only to realize they were on your head the whole time? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone and there's no shame in it. These little brain hiccups happen to all of us, especially as we age. But here's the encouraging truth. Your mind is far more capable than you think, no matter what your birth certificate says. Getting older doesn't mean you have to feel slower or foggier. In fact, your brain still craves stimulation, just like a muscle craves a workout. And just like walking keeps your legs strong, a few simple exercises can keep your mind sharp, focused, and full of life every single day. Today, I want to share with you 5 simple mental exercises you can do at home, no special equipment, no apps, no pressure. These are little things, small habits you can sprinkle into your daily routine that work wonders over time. Think of them like vitamins for your brain, but instead of swallowing a pill, you're feeding your mind. Let's dive in with the first one of my favorites, actually. It's something so simple, yet so powerful, using your non-dominant hand. That's right. If you usually brush your teeth with your right hand, try using your left instead. Or stir your coffee, comb your hair, or even open the fridge with the wrong hand. At first, it might feel awkward, and that's the point. You see, when you do something unfamiliar, your brain lights up in new ways. You're literally challenging your brain to create new connections. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, which is just a fancy way of saying your brain can adapt, even at 60, 70, or 80. You're building new pathways every time you step outside your comfort zone, even in tiny ways like switching hands. It's like waking your brain up from autopilot and giving it something new to chew on. Now, while you're brushing your teeth with your left hand, let me introduce another brain booster that pairs beautifully with it: visualization. I'm not talking about dreaming up some perfect tropical beach, though that does sound lovely. I mean visualizing simple tasks before you do them. For example, before you go into the kitchen, pause for a second and picture yourself opening the cupboard, grabbing the mug, pouring the tea. Step by step, walk yourself through the moment in your mind before it happens. This is a powerful way to sharpen your focus and memory. Athletes use it before a big game. Surgeons use it before a procedure. And guess what? It works for daily life too. When you visualize, your brain treats it like real practice. It strengthens the same circuits as if you actually did the thing. So the next time you feel a little scattered or forgetful, try pausing and running the moment in your head first. It's like giving your brain a rehearsal before the show starts. As we move through these exercises, you'll notice something. None of them are time-consuming or difficult, and yet they create ripples. Over time, these little ripples turn into waves of mental clarity and confidence. And speaking of confidence, let's talk about something that affects our minds more than most people realize: our words. Every day, we talk to ourselves, sometimes out loud, sometimes in that quiet voice inside our head. And what we say matters. That brings us to our third mental exercise: positive self-talk. Now, I know this might sound a little cheesy at first, but stick with me, because it's more powerful than you think. When you catch yourself saying, "I'm just getting old," or "I can't remember anything these days," your brain listens. It hears you, and it starts to believe you. But the reverse is also true. If you say, "I'm still learning," or "my brain is waking up today," your mind shifts. You start to feel more capable, more alive. Positive self-talk doesn't mean pretending everything's perfect. It means choosing words that lift you up instead of dragging you down. Here's a little trick to make it easier. Give yourself a name or a title, something that feels playful, even silly, like Memory Master or Brain Builder. Say it when you wake up. "Good morning, Brain Builder. Let's take on the day." You'd be surprised how your energy changes when you treat yourself with that kind of cheer. And don't worry if you feel a bit funny doing it at first. The goal here isn't to impress anyone, it's to remind yourself that you're still growing, still in the game, and still able to shape your own mind every single day. These simple mental exercises may seem small, but each one is like a gentle stretch for your brain. A stretch that keeps your mind flexible, focused, and full of possibility. You don't need to sit through a lecture or download a bunch of puzzles. You just need a few moments of intention, a little curiosity, and the willingness to play. Now, imagine how different your day could feel if you started it this way. A moment of visualizing your plan. A quick switch to your non-dominant hand while pouring your morning tea. A smile to yourself in the mirror with a confident little "you've got this." These aren't just exercises, they're declarations. Reminders that your mind still matters. And you're choosing to keep it strong. And that's something to be proud of. Let's keep this going and take the next small, meaningful step together. So now that we've taken the first few steps exercising your brain by switching hands, visualizing tasks, and speaking kindly to yourself, let's keep that momentum going. You're already doing more for your brain than most people realize, and the beauty of it is, these shifts don't require major effort. Just a bit of attention, a dash of intention, and a willingness to keep showing up. Let's talk about something you already do every day, but probably don't think of as a brain exercise: talking to someone. That's right. Conversation itself is one of the most powerful tools to keep your mind active, alert, and engaged. And no, I don't mean scrolling through social media or replying with a thumbs up emoji. I mean real connection, hearing someone's voice, responding, asking questions, remembering details, sharing a laugh, or even a complaint. This simple back and forth keeps multiple parts of your brain in your memory, your focus, your processing speed. And here's the thing, it doesn't need to be a deep, soul-searching heart-to-heart every time. Even chatting with the cashier at the grocery store or calling an old friend just to say hi gives your brain that social spark it craves. So the fourth mental exercise is to make conversation a daily habit. Not because you have to, but because it strengthens your mind in real, measurable ways. Studies have shown that older adults who engage in regular social interaction have a lower risk of cognitive decline. That's not just fluff, it's science. Your brain is wired for connection. If it's been a while since you've had a good chat, start small. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Ask them how they're doing. Tell them what made you smile today. Or strike up a short conversation with someone you see in passing: a neighbor, a delivery driver. Even your pet counts in a pinch. Just speaking out loud, forming sentences, and staying present is like lifting weights for your brain, light ones, but powerful all the same. Now let's lean into a fifth and final exercise for today, one that might surprise you. It's something that works your brain in ways that crossword puzzles and brain teasers often don't. It's not about solving problems or memorizing facts. It's about curiosity. Specifically, learning something new. And here's the twist. It doesn't have to be big. You don't need to sign up for a college course or learn a new language unless you want to. I'm talking about learning one new thing a day. Just one. It could be as simple as finding out where hummingbirds go in the winter, or what that flower in your neighbor's yard is called, or how to make your favorite soup from scratch. When you seek out one new thing a day, your brain stays in a growth mindset. It wakes up with purpose. It pays attention. And when you get curious, even just for a few minutes, your brain rewards you with a sense of energy and joy that lingers long after the learning. You can even make it a little game for yourself. Start a daily curiosity notebook. Every morning or evening, write down the one new thing you learned that day. It doesn't have to be impressive. It just has to be real. Over time, you'll see those pages fill up with discoveries, and what a wonderful reminder that no matter your age, you're still growing, still learning, still curious. Think about how exciting that is. You've lived a rich, full life already, and yet, there are still things to uncover, still ideas to explore, still questions worth asking. That kind of mindset doesn't just keep your brain sharp, it keeps your spirit alive. These simple actions, holding a conversation, using your non-dominant hand, visualizing, speaking positively, and learning something new aren't just brain exercises. They're invitations. Invitations to stay awake to your own life, to move through the day with awareness and intention, to believe that every moment has something valuable to offer. And maybe that's what really sharpens the mind. Not a fancy app or a memory game, but the choice to live each day with curiosity, connection, and care. If today you've done even just one of these exercises, if you spoke kindly to yourself, or paused to really listen in a conversation, celebrate that. You're doing the work. You're taking care of your brain, and it will thank you for it in ways both small and profound. So as you head into the rest of your day, carry this thought with you. Your mind isn't fading. It's still vibrant, still hungry, still growing. All it needs is a little love and attention, just like you. And there's more to come. You're doing great so far. Isn't it amazing what a few small shifts can do? Just a moment of curiosity, a conversation, a choice to switch hands, or speak more kindly to yourself, and suddenly the day feels just a little clearer, a little more alive. That's the quiet power of taking care of your mind. It's not about being perfect or memorizing long lists. It's about presence, attention, intention. And if you've ever thought it's too late to start, let me gently remind you. The brain doesn't come with an expiration date. It's never too late to sharpen your thinking, brighten your mood, or surprise yourself with how much you're still capable of. And as we wrap up these mental exercises, I want to share a few reflections, practical thoughts that tie everything together and help you truly make these habits stick. First, let's talk about rhythm. Not the kind you dance to, though. If you love to dance, by all means, do it. I'm talking about mental rhythm, the steady daily beat of your thoughts, routines, and reflections. Many of us, especially after 60, find ourselves in comfortable patterns. We eat the same breakfast, read the same news, talk to the same people, walk the same route. There's nothing wrong with routine, but if we never shift the tempo, our brains slip into autopilot. And autopilot is the opposite of engagement. That's why even the tiniest disruptions to your mental rhythm can reignite your awareness. Sit in a different chair at the dinner table. Read a different section of the newspaper. Water your plants at night instead of morning. These micro changes wake your brain up. They say, hey, something's different today. Let's pay attention. This attention, this waking up, is the secret ingredient. Not just for memory or clarity, but for joy. Because a sharper mind is also a more present mind. And a more present mind? That's the key to savoring life in all its little textures. The warmth of a morning cup of tea. The satisfaction of completing a puzzle. The quiet pride in remembering the name of a neighbor's dog without hesitating. These are the moments where your mind shines. And let's not forget, rest is part of the rhythm too. You can't sharpen your mind without giving it the chance to rest, reset, and breathe. So yes, mental exercise matters. But so does sleep. So does taking a break. So does spending a few quiet minutes just staring out the window and letting your thoughts wander. In fact, that wandering, the daydreaming, the quiet musing, the mental drift is incredibly healthy. Some of the most creative and mentally agile people make time for what looks like doing nothing. But inside, the brain is piecing things together, untangling emotions, solving puzzles in the background. So don't feel guilty if you find yourself gazing into space now and then. That's your brain stretching its legs. And while we're talking about what keeps the brain young, let's not forget laughter. That's right, laughter. Humor activates multiple regions of your brain at once. It reduces stress, improves mood, boosts oxygen to your brain, and increases overall cognitive flexibility. In short, laughing keeps you sharp. So watch a silly show. Swap jokes with your grandkids. Reminisce about that time the dog ate the birthday cake. Let yourself laugh loudly, freely, even if no one else is in the room. Laughter is medicine, and your brain drinks it up like a sponge. You see, staying mentally sharp isn't about fixing anything. You're not broken. You don't need to chase youth or fear change. It's about honoring the incredible, living organ inside your head. The one that's helped you navigate love, loss, laughter, lessons, all of it. Your brain has been your companion every step of the way. And now, you're simply giving it the care it deserves. You're building mental strength not just to remember more clearly, but to live more fully, to be present for the people you love, to enjoy your hobbies, your stories, your mornings, to keep growing. Because no matter how old you are, growth is still possible, still beautiful, still yours. And you know what? You're already doing it. Just by watching this video, you've shown that you care about your mental health, that you believe in yourself, that you're willing to take small steps towards something better. That's worth celebrating. So let's take a deep breath together right now. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel that? That's your mind, right here, right now. Awake, capable, worthy. You don't have to master every trick or remember every exercise. Just pick one and try it today. Tomorrow, maybe another. Let them weave naturally into your life. There's no pressure, no race. Just a journey toward greater clarity, confidence, and calm. And as we close out this conversation, I want to thank you for showing up, for caring, and for choosing to invest in your most powerful tool, your mind. You've got everything it takes to stay sharp, and more importantly, to feel alive in every season of life. Let's keep this conversation going. I'd love to hear what resonated with you today. Maybe you've got a brain-boosting tip of your own, or a story about how one of these little exercises made a difference for you. Share it in the comments below. I really do read them. And if this video spoke to you, give it a like. And subscribe for more content that helps you thrive after 60. Remember, this chapter of life isn't about slowing down, it's about growing deeper, smarter, happier. Here's to staying sharp and living fully every single day. You deserve it. You know, as we've been talking today, I keep thinking about a friend of mine. Her name's Linda. She's 74, sharp as a tack. But she told me something recently that really stuck with me. She said, I used to think forgetting little things was just part of getting old. But then I realized, I don't have to accept that as my story. That hit me hard. Because she's right. Forgetting things now and then is normal, but feeling like we're slowly fading into the background? That's not something we have to accept. You are not invisible. Your thoughts matter. Your mind is still a living, breathing masterpiece. And every day you choose to care for it, even in the smallest way, is a way of saying, I'm still here. I'm still growing. Linda started doing something simple. Every morning, she'd do one-word puzzle. Then, while making her tea, she'd use her left hand. Sometimes she'd call her grandson just to ask about his favorite video game, even if she didn't understand half of what he said. But you know what happened? She felt more alive. She laughed more. And she told me, I don't feel like I'm losing anything anymore, I feel like I'm gaining. That's the heart of it. These mental exercises aren't chores. They're gifts. They give you something back. They remind you of who you are, someone who is still deeply curious, still wonderfully capable, and still full of stories worth telling. And speaking of stories, maybe it's time you told a few of yours. Whether it's writing a letter, recording a voice message, or just sitting with a loved one and sharing a memory from your childhood, the act of storytelling is one of the best mental exercises there is. It engages your memory, your emotion, your imagination. It connects you to your past while giving meaning to your present. Think of a moment from your life. Any moment. The first time you drove a car. The smell of your grandmother's cooking. That silly mistake you made on your first job. You might think no one wants to hear it, but I promise you someone does. And even if you just tell it to yourself, your brain lights up in powerful, beautiful ways. There's a wisdom in your years that the world needs. And when you speak, write, or even just reflect, you're not only preserving that wisdom, you're exercising it. You're telling your brain, you still have a role. You still have value. You still belong. So, if you've been feeling like your memory is slipping, or your focus isn't what it used to be, don't be discouraged. That doesn't mean decline. It means it's time to lean in, to take those gentle steps each day. A new question, a new habit, a new conversation, a new story. You have more control than you realize. and more strength than you know. Let's imagine a day, not far from now, where you wake up feeling clearer, where you walk into a room and remember exactly why you came in, where your thoughts flow with ease, and you feel confident, connected, and proud. That day is possible. It starts with the tiniest actions you've already begun. So maybe tomorrow morning, as you sip your coffee or tie your shoes, you'll think back to this video. And maybe you'll smile and say to yourself, today, I'm going to give my brain a little stretch. And then you'll do it. You'll try something new. You'll speak kindly. You'll reach out. You'll learn something. And you'll feel that spark, that beautiful reminder that your mind is still growing. You are not too old to change. You are not too far gone to improve. You are right on time. And if no one's told you this today, let me be the one. You are doing wonderfully. You're showing up. You're trying. You're caring for yourself. And that's more than enough. If this video brought you even a small sense of clarity or peace, I invite you to leave a comment below. What's one small exercise you're going to try today? Or share a moment where you surprised yourself with just how sharp you still are. I'd love to celebrate those wins with you. And if you'd like more videos like this gentle, honest, encouraging content to help you stay strong and independent after 60, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're building a community here, one that believes aging isn't about slowing down. It's about rising up. Because this chapter of life, it's yours to write. And from where I'm sitting, it's already shaping up to be your best one yet. Here's to growing sharper, stronger, and more vibrant every single day. You've got this.